What's up, guys? That Really Gross Guy here. We're back, and I promised you guys I would do a video on these Thumper enemies that have recently been reintroduced. Well, introduced for the first time. I was thinking they were on the dev stream, but they've finally been introduced to the Plains of Eidolon in the most recent rework. So we're gonna take this thing out, and I'm gonna show you about, or how you go about doing it. So, I've stumbled across the Tusk Thumper, which I found over here by this Grenier base. It did take a little while for it to spawn over here. I fought a couple of these way back on the outside skirts of the map. I know you can also find them way off on the other side of the map, so I don't know if there's any specific spawns that these guys pretty much are guaranteed to spawn in at, but if you're out here long enough, you attract the attention of the Grenier, you'll probably stumble across, you know, one or two of these every time you go out. So, what you're going to do, number one, is you're going to want to go out relatively prepared. You can see here that I've been taking a decent amount of damage from this thing and not really worrying about it because I am running a Mesa with significant damage reduction. She also has a really powerful Tigress Prime. So, yeah, I'm going to basically start going in on this guy and taking care of him. So what we're going to do is, first of all, his cannons on the side of him are cannons that you can take out. When you take them out, he's going to have to either get close and melee with you, or he's going to have to turn to another one of his sides and fire at you with one of his cannons. The cannons do eventually refresh and come back to life, but see, you can see that one there, it just basically came back to life after a little bit. But what you're going to want to do is, number one, take out the cannon so you don't receive all that damage, and remove these leg plates. After doing that, you can see like these little vent areas. You're going to want to put some damage on those. There's one on each leg, so the best way to go about doing it is to remove all of the plates on each one of the legs, because as you fight him, he will end up switching the direction he faces you. And that way you can shoot at any of the legs you just, you know, you feel necessary. Oop, he's getting up close again. Take out his cannons. Keep his cannons down so you don't have to worry about him all that much. You can notice that on the left-hand side, even though I removed that panel, he does at some point start covering those weak spots, the little vents. So after you, just like you saw there, after dealing some damage, they're going to end up going away. Just continue to work your way around this guy. Like I said, he will slowly end up changing which direction he's facing for you, so that you can get better shots on these other legs. But try and work your way around, get him to, you know, stop and do something like this, and get some shots on those vents. Thankfully, when you do, like you saw there, he was about to do his Thumper mode. Taking out that vent actually changed his AI, changed what he was trying to accomplish at that point in time. So we do now have 3 of these legs taken care of. So I'm going to try and work my way over to this back one. Okay, or not. Oh. You do have to be a little bit precise. I'm using the Tigress just because, number one, it's very powerful, and number two, it's got a decent spread, so... Oop. Okay. There we go. So, I am doing this solo. There's no real reason other than the challenge to do this fight solo. You can see that last shot took him down. He's going to explode, which is pretty nice. There's no real reason to do this solo, to be completely honest. However, it does add that extra challenge. Upon defeating him, you will end up with things like fish parts. You got mawfish bones, mercury livers, pyrrole, as well as Nord brains. So they drop pretty good Plains of Eidolon resources. So I highly suggest farming these guys up if you're, you know, maybe struggling in the resource department for the Plains of Eidolon stuff. And it's pretty nice. Of course, depending on when you come out here and what mission you're running, the difficulty of these guys are going to be different. And of course, if you head towards the back of the map where the enemies are a little bit more powerful, the Thumpers will spawn with higher levels, higher HP, so keep all of that in mind. So, like I said, if you come out here on a bounty level 5, where enemies are like level 60 to 80 or whatever, you're going to find yourself running into stronger Thumpers. So, with teammates, you could probably pull this off. I typically tend to get my guides more specifically geared towards newer players. So, if you really want the added difficulty, run it solo, maybe run it on a higher difficulty. If you are a newer player and you want this to be as easy as possible, come out here with a team and don't run a bounty, or run on the lowest bounty you can and take care of this guy. So it's a decent little fight. I like the added enemy types and the fact that the Thumper is taken down in a different way than other enemies, which is pretty nice. Nice change of pace. And of course, like I said, resources are pretty good. It also drops parts, or I think the blueprint for the new Grineer fist weapon. So keep that in mind when you're out here trying to take it down. So I'm gonna go run a few more on my, you know, just for fun on my own time. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you learned something, feel free to drop a like. Maybe leave a comment if there's something you think is really good for maybe newer players to know, such as a good Warframe to use, abilities to use, maybe a weapon. I know some people run Opticore. However, you're gonna have to be pretty accurate with it. Sniper rifles and stuff to hit those weak points, also pretty good. Leave those in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys again in the next video. I'm going to do some conservation stuff for you, so, blow!